only time I'll make a short statement. I'm going to try to be short because I'd like to defer any additional time to Ms. Harvey, who's going to read a statement that I agree with. The ballot, Ms. Mendez explained it very well. Unfortunately, many people are confused, so I would hope that the press makes it clear to all people that they need to vote yes or no on the recall and or vote on one of the candidates. I have a fear that some people are voting on one item and then not voting for candidates, which could leave us with a somewhat lopsided or underrepresented vote. My statements are reasonably clear in the ballot. I have a statement on the table. There's this brochure. This brochure is a year old. I'm recycling my brochures primarily because I want to keep this to a minimum of cost and redundancy. So this is valid, but it's a year old, so I'm a year older. The volunteering and other things are a year more, and the amount of time in office. I came to Cotati in 1980. In 1990, I was elected to the Cotati Park Unified School District, and also in 1990, I volunteered for the Cotati Accordion Festival, and have served with them as president and producer up until this last year. I volunteered for a number of other entities which are in my brochures, and in order to have the statement on that, I defer to Ms. Barich.
I'm sorry, but we will not give her extra time. So if you'd like to start the statement and then have her finish it during her time, that would be fine.
That's okay. Hopefully she'll be able to read it instead of time.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Kirchmann. Ms. Harvey.
Yes, my name is Linell Harvey, and I'm going to read a prepared statement. We believe the recall committee is not represented in this forum. We are prepared to answer questions regarding issues for Cotati and about our candidacy, and not focus on the recall. That is better left to those on the Yes on Recall campaign. A group of citizens worked very hard on the Yes on Recall to place it on the ballot as an initiative. And with all due respect to the League of Women Voters, those citizens are not represented here in this forum, and we protest. My name is Linell Harvey, as I just stated. I came to Cotati in 1978, and when I arrived, I remember coming through town and seeing the sheep that were on La Sierra, and I had a feeling that I had arrived. And I have lived in Cotati ever since then. I've moved several times, and at times it was hard to find a place in Cotati, but I still persevered and eventually found a place. So I've been in Cotati since 1978. I've raised my children here. I have volunteered in the schools here. I had a small business which I co-founded, which is Making It Big, which is still in business. I am serving on the Planning Commission. Currently I'm the chair, and I've been there for 2 years and 3 months. And I think the time is running short, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Harvey.
Before I start, I would like to thank the League of Women Voters for sponsoring this forum. Good evening. My name is Susan Harvey. My husband Paul and I came to Cotati over 31 years ago, and we never looked back. We've raised our family here and been involved in our community for over 30 years. I'm running for City Council for the same reasons I believe in volunteerism. I volunteered with a group that worked on what became Sonoma County's first urban growth boundary in our city, and later worked to preserve our ridgelines. I've been a long-time volunteer in Cotati, and I bring 30 years of experience in business management. I've overseen and was held accountable for budgets during very difficult times and made some very tough decisions. As a manager, I've worked with a diverse group of people, both in difficult and not so difficult times. For the past year, I've served on the Planning Commission. While on the commission, I voted to approve the Downtown Specific Plan, which is the key to the future development of our city, as well as protection of our city by development happening around us. The key objectives that I have for the City Council are work towards a balanced budget, look for ways to increase revenue through policies that support local existing businesses, and attract new businesses which support and enhance the character of our community. maintain essential city services such as community police, and look to restore programs such as recreation. I would like to build bridges between the city council and the community, as well as the community and governmental departments. I'm running for city council because I believe in our community. I have the experience and skills to make it even stronger and better. My years of experience in business management, strong sense of volunteerism, my time on the planning commission, and my genuine love for the city of Cotati have all led to my running for this seat. I look forward to your questions, and thank you for attending.
Thank you. Mr. Barich.
Oh, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters tonight for hosting this event. And I'd like to start by saying the handful of people who swore up and down these streets in 2008 that George Barich was unelectable are behind this silly recall. They are angry that I got elected and furious that I can't be bullied into adopting their political agenda. Differences of opinion on a city council are healthy. Harmony and rubber stamping everything put in front of you is not healthy. This recall is a public disgrace. It's a power grab and nothing more. I have a standing offer of $1,000 to anyone who can prove that this city council has ever reprimanded me for anything at any time. People often say they want their elected officials to be honest, but it appears that some people in Cotati just can't handle honesty in government. Sometimes the truth simply hurts some people's feelings, but that's no good reason to recall anyone. A city leader should not only be a cheerleader, but should be equally committed to cleaning up the messes the city makes along the way. That's our job. We can't begin to fix the problems at City Hall if we are consumed with kicking the whistleblowers out of public office for simply doing their job. For example, building 64 houses on 10 acres in Cotati with narrow streets and inadequate parking is not smart development. It's a travesty. To be an effective council person, not everyone is going to be your friend. I want to help give Cotati citizens a town they can be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barich. So, the questions undoubtedly will already have been at least partially answered by some of you. I have a couple of questions to ask while we're collecting questions from the audience. So again, the audience can give the questions, thank you, to the card sorters who will then bring them to me. So we will start this time with Mr. Barich, and then we'll go down with Mr. Kirchmann again and down the row. So my first question is, why do you support or oppose the recall, or in line with what's been said tonight, not take a position on the recall? Mr. Barich, you have 1 minute.
Well, for many reasons. Diversity on the city council should be something to be strived for. Simply having a difference of opinion is not reason for recall. Charges by the city that excessive staff time was used on my part is an absolute fabrication. City workers in the city are salaried employees. If citizens come into my office and ask for assistance and redress against the city, and I assist them, the time that the city staff spends on these requests from citizens should not be charged to me. That's the basis of the recall, and I think that the recall is unfair and undemocratic. Thank you.